If you've ever walked through the narrow medieval streets of Tenby or stood looking out over the harbour from its pastel-coloured terraces, you'll know there's more here than just a seaside town. Beneath your feet lies nearly 1,000 years of history, sieges, rebellion, escape, collapse and reinvention. Few places in Wales carry their past quite so visibly. The Welsh name for Tenby is Dinbych-y-Pysgod, which means Little Fortress of the Fish. It's a practical name. Din means fort, bych means small, Pysgod means fish, a fortified place by the sea, built around fishing and defence. The earliest known reference appears in a 9th century poem preserved in the Book of Taliesin, showing that this settlement was already important more than 1,000 years ago. The original Welsh name contained a harsh ch sound, one that Norman French and later English speakers simply couldn't pronounce. As Norman administrators took control, the name was softened, reshaped and written down in forms that suited foreign tongues. Latin scribes recorded it as Tenebia or Tenebrium. Norman French documents used spellings like Tanesby or Teneby. Over time, Dinbych became Tenby, not through design, but through habit. The of the fish part of the name was added later to distinguish Tenby from another Welsh town, also called Dinbych, now known in English as Denby. Tenby needed the qualifier because of its harbour, its fishing trade and its coastal identity. Even today, bilingual road signs still reflect that layered past. In 1093, everything changed. Norman forces pushed into southern Pembrokeshire, displacing the native Welsh population. The English crown encouraged settlers from England and Flanders to move in, transforming the region so completely it became known as Little England beyond Wales. The cultural divide was sharp, and it has never entirely disappeared. By the early 12th century, Tenby had become a key Norman port. A stone castle rose on Castle Hill, overlooking the harbour. It wasn't just a defensive structure, it was a statement of control. The Normans built to last. That control was constantly tested. Welsh forces repeatedly attacked the town, but the most devastating assault came in 1260, when Llewellyn ap Gruffydd nearly destroyed it. Buildings burned, lives were lost, and the town's defences failed. The response was decisive. Massive stone walls were built, encircling the town completely. The Five Arches Barbican was designed to trap attackers in a deadly funnel. Tenby had learned its lesson. In 1405, during Owen Glyndor's uprising, French ships arrived in support of the rebellion. The countryside was ravaged, but Tenby held out. Its walls endured, and the town survived once again. In 1471, Tenby played a quiet but crucial role in English history. A young Henry Tudor arrived, fleeing for his life. The town's mayor, Thomas White, hid him, tradition says, in a cellar, before smuggling him out under cover of darkness. 14 years later, Henry returned to win the Battle of Bosworth and take the throne as Henry VII. He never forgot Tenby's loyalty. The town prospered, trade flourished, wine, salt and wool passed through the harbour. Merchants grew wealthy, and their homes reflected it. The Tudor Merchant's House still stands today as a rare survivor of that era. Around the same time, Tenby produced one of the most influential thinkers of the Renaissance. Robert Record, born here around 1512, invented the equals sign. More importantly, he wrote mathematics in English rather than Latin, making knowledge accessible to ordinary people for the first time. The 16th century brought fresh disaster.
During the Civil War, Tenby changed hands repeatedly and was occupied by Cromwell's forces. Trade collapsed, plague followed, the population fell, and for much of the 18th century the town slipped into quiet decay. Its revival came from an unexpected direction. In the early 19th century, sea air and seawater were believed to have medicinal benefits. Sir William Paxton saw opportunity where others saw ruin. Investment followed. Bathing houses were built. Visitors arrived. Then in 1863 the railway came, and Tenby was reborn. Victorian terraces rose along the esplanade, designed to impress, to comfort, and to sell the idea of the seaside as cure and pleasure. They still define the town's appearance today. Even in leisure, Tenby shaped history. In the late 19th century, a local journalist fought for the right to attend council meetings. His victory led directly to the admission of the Press Bill, securing press access across Britain. Today, Tenby isn't frozen in time. Medieval walls still stand, Tudor horns still breathe, Victorian buildings still welcome visitors. You can sit with a coffee inside a structure built for defense, or walk streets shaped by war, trade, and tourism. Tenby survives because it adapted, again and again. And that is its real story.